to the Loading Up Podcast. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Loading Up Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Brother Zay, and today we have with us Producer J. What's going on?
What's up, my friend?
What's up, man? Now, before we jump into the show, we got a lot to discuss today. Don't forget about our sponsors down below. The links are in the description. You can click them to W Energy Drink, where you can save 10% on your orders. Use code LUP at checkout, as well as a link to NordVPN, where you can save a massive 67% on a 2-year plan. NordVPN is really good. Go ahead and just watch the shows in Japan, watch shows in Korea. Just get yourself a VPN. You're going to need it, trust me. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share. It's all free to do. We appreciate you guys do so much who come every week and listen to us. And if you aren't subscribed, we know a lot of you listeners aren't subscribed. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. We appreciate you.
Yes.
All right. Producer J, talk to me, man. What you been playing?
All right. So, as you know, last time we were here, I mentioned my whole grudge against Square Enix and Kingdom Hearts and all that stuff. So I have not been playing that. I've taken a break until I can confirm. So in the meantime, I caught the Gears of War itch because of E-Day.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing through that. Well, no, I didn't. I beat it. I beat the campaign. It wasn't that long. Like I was pretty much like halfway through. So, it was really good. I really liked the story. It reminded me how Gears of War. It never got boring. Like I know a lot of games, like after a while you play it, it's just like, I want to get through this level. I want to play through it, get finished or whatever. Gears never got boring for me, and it's like
that's a good way. That's a good one too, because this one was like open world, where
yes,
you can,
and
so it not getting boring is good.
It introduced something different with the open world sections. I can see why people disliked it because it felt like it slowed down the pacing of the game. But honestly, as annoying as the traversal was at points, I didn't find it to be that intrusive to the story. Like I felt like the pacing was pretty good still.
Yeah.
I think if they're gonna go with that going forward, I don't know. I don't think they announced that for E-Day, but if they do decide to do that, maybe for Gear 6, um, that they need to refine it a little bit more so that way it doesn't feel like you're just traveling for like minutes at a time, in between objectives and like all the side quests and stuff like that. And I honestly felt the same way about God of War, the first one.
Get out of my head. I was literally going to say that.
Yeah, so it reminded me of that, and then they did refine it for the second one. So I was just like, okay, like they listened to the feedback. So I'm hoping that the coalition does it for that too. I do want to mention the ending.
Yes.
Spoilers for a
come
game
on,
that
it's
came
like
out
6 years ago.
I was gonna say 6 years ago, but the ending it was a little weird because it felt abrupt. It felt like I wasn't done. Like I thought there was gonna be like a whole nother act.
Well, I
And
mean, technically the game is not done. It kind of
it's
left
not.
it open,
Yes, it's not done. And
So
I know there is the Hivebusters DLC, which I just started that. So
it's really good.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I heard nothing but good things about it.
So let me ask you, who did you
Okay.
choose?
I was just about to get into that. All
Yes.
right, so I did get spoiled on that a long time ago. I know people were talking about it and how it was controversial
Yeah.
and what it means for Gear 6 and like what is the canon choice, or will they make it so that way you can progress with whatever decision you made. I wouldn't rule that out. I think honestly maybe they'll do something in Gear 6 where like even if you don't you're not able to transfer your save, you can still decide in the beginning of the game what you chose in the previous game. Um, so initially, and granted, this is because I took like a year's break from Gears 5 to finish it. I had forgotten what had happened previously. So as I'm playing it, I'm really like starting to get closer to Dell
Yeah.
as a character than JD.
Mm-hmm.
And that granted, I know like he was a big like focal point in Gears 4 and then in the early part of Gears 5 and in the later part too. So my initial reaction was like, I gotta save Dell because like I care more about him as a character than I do JD. And so like, and obviously like when you're in that moment, like it doesn't give you much time to choose. So
Yeah.
then I did save Dell and I killed
Okay.
JD. Um
You monster! How could
I
you?
so no, literally as I was doing it, I was like, wait a minute. That means we gotta tell Marcus that his son just died. And then I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, damn it." Like, he's literally losing every he lost his father, he lost his brother in Dom, he lost his wife, and now he lost his son? Like, oh my goodness, this guy, he's, like, freaking depressed as hell. Like, I couldn't do it to him. So, like, literally, I wasn't able to reload, but, like, once I beat the game, I went back and I chose to
Hey,
save JD.
chosen ending.
I was like, "I love you, Dell, but, like, come on, like, I care about Marcus more."
You
And
know what's? Go ahead, again.
honestly, I feel like it ended up being a better choice to save JD just because of the moment that him and Marcus get when they have to tell him that Dell died.
Yeah.
And it was something that like, and I looked it up on other people's opinions too, and it reminded me that like they were kind of like standoffish for the majority of the game. Like they didn't really talk to each other.
Yeah.
Um, so for them to have that moment and to reconcile, like I feel like it would lead to a better character development for JD going forward to
Yeah.
not be so like by the book and not, like sometimes you just gotta trust your gut. Don't just do what you're told and or whatever. Um, but yeah, so
It's
I
so it's so interesting that you're going through this now because I went through this obviously when it first came out, and my initial reaction was I wanted to save Dell in my playthrough, and I made the mistake and actually end up saving JD, and I was distraught because Dell was like you said, you got to know him and grow with him and be by his, you were by his side with Kay, and it was so good. And then I accidentally killed him. That's how I felt. And I was so distraught playing this game. But then I realized that saving JD actually was a better choice simply for like story connotation, and I was just like, oh, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to
yeah.
save Dell and accidentally accidentally killed him.
Yeah, I know. I felt really bad after the fact. Like I like Dell as a character, but I felt like he was more like pigeonholed as being like the quirky sidekick character. Although if you did save him, maybe they would have done better by him in the next game. Maybe like that him seeing his best friend die like
Yeah.
changes him. I don't know. It's a lot to consider, but
Yeah.
I guess like I said, I feel like they would make it so that way you can play either or choice.
Yeah.
So that
I think
way
so.
that way you won't miss out on anything.
Now, you've also been playing another game, haven't you?
I have actually.
Talk about
So,
it. Talk about it.
so me and my wife, I tell you, we've been playing Baldur's Gate. And we finally beat this run that we're doing or that we did. And I decided that maybe we should just play something else. I took your advice and decided to run up Divinity Original Sin 2. And we're very much enjoying it. And I can't remember if you told me this. I heard it somewhere. I feel like you did tell me this. The learning curve is very steep. Like it's I want to say it's maybe not drastically, but it's a lot different than Baldur's Gate. So like
Yes.
going backwards is like you have to basically relearn the game.
That's exactly
And
what I did. I had to relearn the
yeah,
whole game.
yeah, it was like because there's like different mechanics and the whole AP system where like it's not like you can just do everything in one turn and but that's it. Like you don't get bonus actions and it you don't have to wait for long rests. You just gotta wait for turns.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. and the tutorial that the game gives you is ass. It does not show you everything at all. It
There's
shows you
no
the
tutorial.
yeah, basically there's no tutorial. Like it shows you how to like control the characters and the basic stuff from battles,
Yeah.
but outside of that, it's just it's worthless. You got to
Yeah.
figure it out on your own. And it took us cuz we put on classic mode
Oh
and
no.
we were dying on like
Yeah.
every battle, having to restart it. And I was just like I'm gonna have to just suck it up and lower the difficulty because I can't do this. Like
Now,
I'm
for your first playthrough, you can't play it like that.
yeah, I was starting to worry. I was just like, are we gonna like drop the game because of this? Because it's too difficult to learn. So we put it on I think it's explorer mode, which
Yeah.
I guess is like the easy mode, because then the story mode, which is like very easy. Um and now we're enjoying it a lot better because
Yeah.
now we're able to survive fights and we're able to learn the game as it's supposed to be learned, and instead of worrying about how we're gonna get out of this encounter that we weren't prepared for. Because that's another thing too. There's a lot of back-to-back encounters,
Yeah.
and if you're not prepared for them, you're gonna struggle. And that's
Mm.
another thing too. The whole like health system is different because you don't really, at least for me, I mean, maybe I'm just overlooking it, but we don't have a lot of potions. So when we're battling, like we just got to figure it out. And granted, as we level up, you get spells that can heal
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
And one of the benefits is that you can just use it indefinitely. And then you can also like lay down on a
Yeah.
bed, yeah, and just recover health. So in the beginning, before we had those spells, we were just like, "Yo, we need to lay down. We need to find a bed. We can't like, there's no like, there's a battle up ahead, but then we got to go all the way back just to rest for 5 seconds and then come back." It was very stressful.
Yeah.
But we're making it through, and the story's actually pretty interesting too.
It is.
We're still in the beginning area, the Fort Joy. So,
It's
um,
early, but like you said, the curve, once you get to out of that first area, you start to really open up the game and really get into the story. It's it's a good game. I had a lot of fun playing it with my Xbox friends Ron and Brea.
yeah.
They played the first one, so they introduced me into the second one, and I had a lot of fun playing with them. And they're used to playing those type of games, so for me, it was a little easier to get into because they got it down packed, you know?
Nice. Okay, yeah, that would make things a lot easier actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
The game's good.
it is good. I will say the it's interesting because the themes are still dark and still serious, but like the graphics are like a little bit cartoony, so it throws you off. You're not expecting that from this type of game
Hey,
at first. But I I I am glad that they took the art style a little bit differently for Baldur's Gate 3, and it makes me that much more excited for Divinity when that eventually comes out because they're basically gonna meld the two together, and it's
yeah.
gonna be the best of both worlds.
Oh, yeah,
So
100%.
I'm really excited for that. Hopefully, I don't gotta wait till like freaking 2030 to play it.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, most likely. Um, but yeah, so those are the main two things that I've been playing, and yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I mean, I haven't it's been a rough week, but I haven't played much, but what I did get to play was I know Game Pass dropped uh Persona 5 Royale on Game Pass.
Uh-huh.
Now, let me tell you a little bit about this. I owned that game on when it first came out on the PS4, when it first introduced itself on Xbox. I've never played it. I've owned
Really?
it, but I've probably put in a total of 5 minutes across PS4 and Xbox. But for whatever reason, I never really used to into those, turn-based style games. But Ron and Brea really helped me open up my shell to those type of games. And, obviously I played Divinity Original Sin 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and a bunch of others. And it's got me into the genre now. So now that I'm into the genre, now that I also play Persona 3 Reload on Game Pass, I know the Persona series. So now I'm into the Persona series. So when they dropped it on Game Pass, I started playing Persona 5 Royale, and I'm loving it. I'm like 20 something hours, 23 hours in, and I'm having a blast with it. So it is
Nice.
very different from Persona 3. Um Persona 3 had a great story, and the gameplay, I guess at the time it was probably really good, but like playing it in this age, it was felt stale. But Persona 5 does not at all feel stale. Everything's different and new, and it feels fun, and I'm excited. I've been playing. So that's really what I've been playing. Obviously, besides the Batman Arkham Shadows that you're seeing from the Telltale series, which is always fun to play. I always love playing the Telltale series. That's really what I've been playing.
Nice. Nice. That's one thing, like, you're saying that, like, that's, like, the majority of the games that I have. I bought it once, and I never touched it, and it's still sitting there in my backlog. One day, one day.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, any day is a good day to go back into a game and finish it. Especially now, like if I need help, there's a million guides on Persona 5, so I
That's
never
true.
have to
You know what?
worry.
That's a very good point. So that way you're not going into it blind. If you ever get stuck, you
Yeah.
got something there.
Yeah, I was stuck on something and I was like, oh man, I gotta look it up. And there was like 13 articles and 14 different ways you could finish it. I was like, oh, okay, this is great. They have
I
resources.
I will never shame anybody for looking up a guide, because I
Listen,
do it literally almost every game I own. I have to look up a guide at some point.
listen, I grew up in an era where like they had a booklet, a giant
Oh,
textbook
yeah.
almost of guides that people used to buy from game stores. So I don't shame nobody.
Yeah.
I had a guide for like Legend of Zelda games back in the day. I had a guide for Mario games, all gotten from games from places like Blockbuster or GameStop when it was really good. Um I don't shame people in looking up anything. You want to look up something, do it. Who cares? Play your game how you want.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, I guess we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Let's get right into the news. We got something to talk about. We'll start off with some of the more sad news that came out from earlier this week. Claude Guillemont, who co-founded the French video game publisher Ubisoft with his brothers in 1986, has died. So the Ubisoft came out with their own statement stating Ubisoft was deeply saddened to learn the death of Claude, the co-founder of the group and chairman of Guillemont Corp, in an accident. So they stated there will be no further comment on the situation. What we do know is that he was 69 years old. He died in a plane crash in a resort town in France on the coast during the weekend where they were having an air show. So him and the pilot of that Sienna 421 plane had an accident, and they both died in that accident.
Yeah, it's always a shame to hear about, like, these premature deaths, and especially in the gaming industry, because I feel like the general public doesn't treat, like, people within the industry with the same respect that they do others outside of it, like in the movie industry and stuff like that. So it really is. It sucks because, like, he's responsible for a lot of the games that people play even to this day. Like co-founding Ubisoft and starting that up and making Ubisoft what it is. And
Yeah,
granted, they're going through a little bit of turbulation at Ubisoft, but that doesn't change the fact of what he has accomplished. And it's really sad to see. And my condolences to his family.
for sure, for sure. I mean, he was not just one of the co-creators, but also like the head of their. They have a whole hardware division. He was like the chairman of that. So lots of stuff that he did in his career at Ubisoft. Besides, founding it with his brothers. So definitely is a sad day for the Ubisoft group.
Yes.
Let's continue on with more sad news. Get the sad news out the way. We have Bungie news. So Bungie is set to lose roughly 400 staff members. I believe these layoffs have already happened. It is half of Bungie staff, and it is quite a lot of people who just lost their job. I guess this is after, with Destiny sort of sunsetting a little bit with their last update coming out, and Bungie underperforming and or losing money in general. So Sony's kind of like cutting costs where they can, and who knows what can actually happen of Bungie now. Maybe they'll be absorbed by Sony and won't be Bungie anymore. They'll just be part of, their Sony studios. It's a lot of turbulent times over at Bungie and Sony.
Yeah, I definitely feel like big change is coming to Bungie. I remember when when they first acquired them, Sony did, um, that people were questioning like what this means because it happened like right after the ABK deal was announced. Maybe like a few months, but it was after the fact, and it was clearly like a move in like not retaliation, but like a move to counter it because PlayStation was nervous. Like admittedly so. We heard in the courts that uh shit, what was his name? Uh the old guy that was head of PlayStation.
Jim Ryan?
Jim Ryan. I blanked on his name. I want to forget about him.
How
But
could you forget about Jim Liar Flyer Ryan?
how could I, right?
Yeah.
He admitted that he was worried that Xbox was gonna make Call of Duty exclusive, and um, so you could see that this was a move to kind of like s- protect themselves in a way and not be so at the mercy of Call of Duty. So what was interesting about this deal was that Bungie was going to be kept separate. It was going to be it was going to be a subsidiary alongside PlayStation under Sony. And they were going to operate independently and they weren't going to interfere with stuff. Apparently that wasn't true because they did interfere with a bunch of stuff um in regards to Sony's live service push. But yeah, like Bungie was independent essentially, and that ended up being a mistake. So now everybody's wondering like what's going to happen now, and I think that you're right. I think Bungie will be assimilated into a PlayStation studio so that way they can revitalize supposedly their live service push. I don't think that's the best idea, but considering Bungie's track record, I don't see another alternative. I don't think Sony trusts them anymore to operate independently, especially after I don't want to call it a flop, but it's not doing too great, Marathon.
It's a
Um
flop, man.
it's it's well, we'll see cuz like with live service games, they can turn things around like years later, so it's kind of too early to tell. But
It's a flop in the future too.
I don't I don't know what the future holds for Marathon, but clearly the fans of Bungie don't care. They literally throughout the state of play that they had a few weeks ago, they were just saying, "Where's Destiny 3? We want Destiny 3." That's all they wanted.
Everywhere. Summer Game Fest.
Yes.
They were doing it all even on the Xbox, like Destiny 3. They were telling people at Xbox, buy Bungie back to
Yes.
break Destiny 3.
Seriously, it's crazy how like just like out of control. I don't want to say out of control, but like how much people want Destiny 3. And honestly, it's long overdue. But clearly that's not going to happen. PlayStation doesn't see that. Maybe they will eventually, but it's not happening anytime soon. I don't know what the future holds for Bungie in terms of like the games that they develop, but it's not looking good.
No, it's not. I mean, not just with Marathon, just in general over at Bungie. They can't what was it, last year or a year ago? I don't even remember. It's been so long that they canceled 12 live service games,
Yeah.
and it is all because of Bungie. So Sony is worse off now because Bungie came in, canceled all the live service games, and
The
Marathon's running how it is now, and Destiny is essentially done.
It's just dead.
Destiny 2 is
Yeah.
dead. So it's like, it's way worse situation than I think people are giving. Not only did Bungie destroy much of Sony and their potential revenue streams from these live service games, they also destroyed themselves. And
Yeah.
now, with these layoffs, it's just, you know, everything is brought upon about themselves between Jim Ryan and Bungie. And Sony is the way it is today because of them.
Yeah. I remember when when it came out that the reveal for The Last of Us Factions 2, whatever it was gonna be called, it was canceled the day before it was supposed to be debuted.
Yeah.
And that's
Which
crazy.
which is crazy because the factions was actually something that I was looking forward to, because I love the gameplay style of The Last of Us, and the multiplayer stuff would have been amazing, you know.
Yeah.
It was really good for PlayStation as a live service game, and it was just down the drain.
Yeah. Just really big missed opportunity. But I mean, they gotta learn.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on with more bad Sony news. So, Sony has come out and saying they will use AI. AI will enhance the PlayStation experience in their new bold claim. So not only do we have to worry about Bungie and the layoffs at there, but now they're just full on taking in AI and hoping that it enhances their play. We don't yet know the emphasis that they are going to put on AI with the PlayStation and or its future, whether it'll be like their main focus. But the strategy goes on to say, this is directly from Sony: as AI lowers barriers to creation and increases the volume and diversity of content within the studio business, AI powered tools and automating repetitive workflows and improving productivity across the platform business. AI is driving efficiency, personalization, and customer value at scale. Overall, AI is expected to unleash the creativity of Sony Interactive Entertainment Studios. So, I just want to reiterate something here before give you the floor here. Sony is laying off a bunch of people at Bungie. They closed 11 or 12 live service games, and they're in shambles after Concord. Bungie's dead. Marathon's not doing too good, but they want to embrace AI. And for me, that just screams like, a really bad decision. It's just bad decision after bad decision just keeps happening over at Sony.
It is amazing how in the same like within a few months of each other, we got Microsoft basically denouncing all AI implementation when it comes to gaming. Not to say that it's going to be gone completely. I do think that it's AI is here to stay regardless of how we feel about it, but at least when it comes to Xbox, they don't want anything to do with it. And I remember in the interview that Asha Sharma did, she said like that was her call. Like she realized that that's not what gamers want in their console. So she nixed all those plans.
Yep.
And she got commended for it because it's a bold thing for Microsoft or Xbox to do because of the climate in the industry right now. Everything's revolving around AI. And to go from that to the company that was championing AI and everything, and still to this day, Satya is still talking up AI. Maybe not as much, but he's still trying to like salvage it in some ways. To go from that to PlayStation, basically embracing it. It's not just them. Sony is embracing it and just being and throwing it on the table and saying, "Yeah, we're gonna be using it for game development. We're gonna be using it for well, I don't know if they said if they were gonna use it for like asset creation and stuff like that. But you have to wonder like that's part of it because and we've seen other studios admit that they do use AI for stuff, and they've uh, justifiably gotten flack for it. But for whatever reason, everybody's just like okay with PlayStation saying this stuff. And it boggles my mind that like PlayStation could just be upfront about how they're they're hurting the industry, because we've already seen the stuff. I mean, we're gonna get into it about like price increases because of AI hogging up all the memory allocation. Like AI is directly responsible for it, and yet Sony is just admitting that they're just gonna contribute more to it. And I don't understand why people just refuse to hold them accountable. It just doesn't happen. Every single time, at every turn, Sony makes a very bad decision, and everybody seems to just be like, "Oh, well, what are you gonna do?" And it just bothers me. And I wish people would hold them accountable for more stuff, and it's just not gonna happen. But I mean, I understand that AI is inevitable. I know it's gonna be used, and it depends on like how it's used and stuff like that. But can we trust Sony to use it ethically? I don't know.
No, absolutely not. Negative.
So then there you go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's terrible. You know what's worse is that not only they're using it to gain more favors and to sort of use it as productivity, they go on to say that they're hoping to use it um to bring higher fidelity and deliver higher quality player experience. So it just makes it feel like they're just using AI to just make the pictures better, make it look better, make it look fancier. And that's not always what a
Yeah,
game needs.
right.
We don't need it to look super hyper realistic. We need it to play well. We need to be optimized well for whatever device you're using, whether you're on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, doesn't matter. We need it to be a good, fun experience. I don't know if AI is gonna make it fun. It's just gonna make their pockets better because they don't have to rely on a human to do it. They'll just have AI do it.
Exactly. And we already saw the backlash that Nvidia got when they tried their DLSS 5 stuff. And my worry is that Sony's basically going to do the same thing, or try to do the same thing,
Yeah,
and it's just going to fall flat on their face.
it
And
will.
not to say that there isn't a way to implement this stuff properly. We have seen it before, but just knowing Sony, how they go overboard with this stuff, I just feel like it's not the move. At least not from them.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But we'll see how it turns out and what they're gonna do. And I think the next article we're going to talk about, because the president of Sony had a interview, Hideki Nishino. He had an interview, and they talked about wanting to revitalize their live service games. So we just finished talking about how they killed last year 11 live service games. Now in 2026, they're like, we need to revitalize live service. They want to really focus and emphasize on new live service games for them. And I know why they want to. They need money.
Yeah,
Plain and simple. They need a cash cow so that way they can continue making games, because games are expensive to make and they just need more money. Their first party games are not selling like they need to. You can ask Soros, even game of the year, what was it? The robot game, Astrobot.
yeah,
Those didn't sell very well, so they need something to really help on the back end with these development costs. And now they want to focus on live service games. And I feel like if they do this, they need to bring back certain games that they were going to be working on. Specifically factions. That would be
yeah.
huge for them. They remade. How many times did they remake The Last of Us and push it out again? Well, they could have did a factions multiplayer and made a ton of money just off of that, instead of remaking Last of Us over and over again. You know, they
Last
could
of
have.
Us has like 5 different games with only 2 games in the series.
Yeah, maybe 6. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a lot, but they could make a lot of money if they just would have went through with some of those live service games that they ended up canceling from Bungie. But now they're focusing back on it, and we just, it's like they don't. I feel like they don't know what they're doing. They've had too many losses. Sure, the console's selling like crazy. They get tons of console sales, but their software sales and their game developments, it's taking a major beating. And
Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I think just recently they reported that PlayStation
oh,
had the lowest sales in May since like 2000.
I mean, you're absolutely right. They did report that, but also like it's 6 years when after the generation. I don't expect
Yeah.
companies to be making, you know, selling like crazy 6 years after the generation. Like for me, that's like, it's not a big deal. Like everybody always talks about, oh, it's selling more than Xbox. Who cares? It's 6 years after the console came out. This is old tech already. Maybe the current generation, but it's old tech. So what? People aren't buying PlayStations and Xboxes anymore like they used to. That's what happens as time goes on. So for me, that report was like, okay, thank you
Man.
for stating the obvious.
No,
I mean,
I get what you're saying, and I honestly the whole live service stuff, it's like you said, it's understandable why they wanna do it. I just think that they're rushing into it instead of, like, nurturing it and actually, like, being creative about it. Like, we heard the games that they got that canceled, like, a God of War live service game? Like, in what world does that make sense? And, like, I get that they have to utilize their IP for that, but, like, they have other IP that they could use. They can make a Ratchet& and Clank live service game, which they did, but it ended up being a mobile game. But it's like, why is that a mobile game? Why not make that an actual, like, PlayStation 5 game? Like, why is, the Horizons live service game on PC and not on PlayStation at all? Like, that's what I don't understand. It's like, what goes behind these decisions that if you're serious about live service, why aren't you putting it on the freaking platform that you needed to service? Because multiplayer games don't do well on PlayStation. So if you want it, you have to start getting the users to invest in it. But you're not gonna do that if you're not putting it on the platform. You're giving that up to the Call of Duties, the Marvel Rivals, the all the other live service games that are multi-platform. And I get that it's hard to break in, but it's just like you have to you have to be you have to be selective about this stuff. And it feels like Sony is just taking a bunch of ideas and then throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks. And you can't do it that way. You're gonna burn through so much money that way. You have to be more strategic. And I feel like they're panicking right now, especially now because they pulled out semi pulled out of PC releases for at least for single player games. Um they are gonna do it for live service games. So, like, they are admitting that they still need to release games on PC in order to survive, but, or not survive, but to be profitable. Um, but yeah, I just think that the decisions they're making regarding live service have not been great, and that doesn't give me confidence for the future of their revitalization of live service.
yeah, I feel you on that. Oh man, now we gotta get into this. It's about GTA 6.
Yes.
The pre-orders went live last week, and I feel like the internet went on fire. Everybody's making
Yes.
videos and talking about it. Um,
GTA broke the internet.
They definitely did, and I'm sure that we'll be hearing about it more in the coming months because DTA was available to pre-order. It is $80 for the standard edition, and then the ultimate edition is $100. And we got after the pre-order was announced, we got some details about the ultimate edition. The ultimate edition locks a lot of content behind that $100 price tag. So you have to buy the $100 version if you want like certain cars, access to certain stores. You need to have certain customizations like a unisex salon, a stock clothing store, tattoo shops, certain like gear that your characters can wear. There's like 5 different cars. Um you can't get access to customized mod shops or One Eye Willie's mod shop. So there's a lot of different things that used to be just part of the game. Now, if you buy or pre-order the regular edition, the digital edition of GTA 6, you will not be able to get access into those buildings, those shops, those cars, or even the gear that they have, which is absolutely really scummy.
It definitely is, but it's not, what is it? It's not shocking that they did. I've pretty much expected something like that. I'm pretty sure everybody expected something to be, to be done with this stuff. Like, because one of the things that people were talking about and debating about for like the past few years regarding GTA 6 is that is it going to launch with GTA Online 2? And clearly we got the answer. They said it themselves. Rockstar said it themselves. It is not. It is not coming out at the same time. We know it's coming. Like there's no way Rockstar is leaving that money on the table. Like there's gonna be a sequel to GTA Online, but it's probably gonna come out either next year or maybe the year after. Um, but they still had to sell this game. And granted, it can sell on its own merits, but, this is also Take-Two. Despite it being Rockstar's, like, they handle everything themselves, they publish, Take-Two is still the parent company, and just judging by how greedy they are in all, like, the other sports games they do, and the gross, like, microtransactions and, gambling mechanics, essentially, you knew
Yeah.
they were gonna do something with GTA, like, they just had to. And
Then
while this is not the worst thing ever, it's still pretty shitty.
you know what I realized is gonna be even more shitty when GTA 6 online comes out. They're probably gonna charge $60 for it.
Oh yeah, no, 1000% it's not gonna be included with this. It's gonna be an add-on or it's gonna be a separate standalone thing, which I think they already did for the Red Dead Redemption 2 online, right?
They do
It's
have separate
it's a
like
separate thing.
yeah, yeah.
So I think that's exactly what's gonna happen with GTA. You're right. It's gonna be a separate thing. It's not gonna be free to play. It's gonna be you gotta pay $60, $70, $80, whatever. That's what you're gonna pay. But it's gonna be a separate release, and maybe you'll get benefits if you have GTA 6 already. Um, but yeah, I
Only if you have the ultimate edition.
only if you have to you get those benefits and then you get
Yeah,
extra shit.
yeah.
Um, One thing I did find interesting, is that even though it's like the ultimate edition, and I'm sure they've done this for like other games and stuff. Like if you buy the base version, you can still upgrade to the ultimate edition later. I don't think it's like something that you have to get at launch or you have to like rebuy the game. Because I saw it on the downloads thing that it's like a $20 DLC essentially. So they're marketing it as the Ultimate Edition, but essentially it's just an extra DLC.
Well, yeah.
At
I mean,
least
it's
when it comes to
$20
the
extra,
store.
so
Yeah. Um, yeah, I something was gonna happen. I do think it's not as bad as it could have been, but it's still shitty nonetheless. But that didn't stop people from making excuses about it. And even just the base game being $80. People were already making excuses for that. The same people that were crying about Mario Kart World being $80 are now okay, seemingly, with GTA 6 being $80. Which begs the question, could they have gotten away with even higher? Could they made the base edition $100 and people would be okay with it?
why'd you put
I
that into the universe? Uh,
listen, it didn't happen. I don't think it could
The
change.
game hasn't come out yet.
I mean,
It
I don't
can
know.
change.
I don't know. We have not seen something like that happen. I hope we don't, but um yeah, it's just this game is, it's more of like I was looking forward to it, and I still am. I'm gonna get it, obviously, but like I feel like it's more of just like I have to do it instead of like I want to, you know? Have you ever felt that way about like something? Like I gotta get it because I just gotta do it.
Everybody's gotta get it.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's beyond the point of wanting to get it. Like I gotta get this day one.
Yeah.
I gotta play it day
How
one.
could we be the all how could we be gamers and not play or get GTA 6
That's
after how many years?
that's what I'm saying. That's the level of like notoriety that GTA has now. Like you gotta, because like I'm sure like with Red Dead Redemption, a lot of people are excited about it, but like if you wanted to skip it, you could. But GTA, I don't think you could skip it. If you do, like people will freaking clown you for it. Like, oh, look at this guy, he's not playing GTA.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to get GTA, you know? And what I like about the benefits of like pre-ordering it on Xbox is that you can just set it to pre-order. The money's not coming out of your account until November 9th because the game
See,
comes out the game comes out on the 19th and
yeah,
they
they
charge your
charge you like
card
10 days before or
10
something like
days
that.
before. So you could just set it to pre-order and just make sure you have that money by November 9th.
See, that's why I don't like that, because I don't want a random like, "Oh, I forgot that I pre-ordered it, like, months ago," and then a random $80 charge comes out of my account. I'm like, "Where did that come from?" I would rather, you can bypass that if you convert the like, if you get, like, if you buy a points card, not a points card, but, like, currency, and you use that, it takes it out right away. It doesn't wait. So, like, if you buy, like, a Xbox gift card or something like that, you could
Yeah,
bypass
no.
that.
What I'm doing in particular to GTA 6 is when Call of Duty comes out, because I pre-ordered Call of Duty. When Call of Duty comes out, I'm gonna get enough points to basically make it free for me. So once Call of Duty comes out, I'll get the points, and then I'll
Yeah.
pre-order GTA 6, and I'll have the Ultimate Edition. I think for like $20.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I got, I know I got 2 games that are on my to buy list that I haven't bought yet. Um, but once they come out, then, like, I'll have enough points to not for free, but, like, I can pay for the majority of the game, before it even comes out, so that way I don't gotta worry about it. Thank you, Microsoft Rewards.
Thank you. Let's move on. We got a bunch more to discuss. We have this one's about Micron. Now, if you don't know, Micron is one of the very few makers for RAM and chipsets in the world, and let's just say they locked in a historically high memory price for 5 years, and it's not letting up. These everything is going up. Micron decided we're going up too. So the prices of memory, RAM, everything is going up, and these prices are locked in for 5 years. So it doesn't matter if your console hardware for your PCs or anything that comes out, including cell phones, watches, it doesn't matter. All of it's going up, everything. They locked in those prices, and even if the market sort of levels out and it gets better next year or the year after, these prices are locked in at super high. So it kind of really just is really a bummer. It really is.
Yeah, and we saw, we didn't have this on like the list of stuff to talk about, but like we saw it pretty much when the Steam Machine price got announced, that
Yes.
it's coming out for 1,050, 49.99, something like that. And everybody unanimously was just like, yeah, no, that's DOA. Like, there's no way that's selling. Obviously there's some people who are still like willing to pay that much for it, which is ridiculous. But um yeah, like that's the first like sign that this whole inflation regarding memory and stuff like that, it's not going away anytime soon. And the fact that they locked in those prices for 5 freaking years is like, that's it. Like it's GG for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So like any uh notion that prices will eventually go down over time is pretty much null and void because of this deal, and I hate
100%.
it. And it's funny because Valve pretty much threw them under the bus. They said that they told us the price, and if we walk away, then they won't talk to us again. So it's like their hands are tied, and the same goes for PlayStation, same goes for Xbox. I'm not
Everybody.
sure about Nintendo, although they are affected, but apparently not as much because they only raised their prices by like $50, which is not as much as the others have raised their prices. But the Switch 2 is based on older tech, so maybe it's different. Um, yeah, it's going to get worse. We see it just recently with the Xbox price increases that they just announced. PlayStation's probably gonna have one coming up because it's usually Xbox does it first and then PlayStation follows right after. I would imagine that they're probably gonna wait until after GTA 6 comes out because I know PlayStation is banking on people buying consoles for GTA 6. Especially
Now
now that they
they're
got the
scummy. They'll probably announce it right before GTA 6.
that would be really shitty.
Yeah.
But, um, but yeah, and then, they got the whole marketing stuff for GTA, so, it makes sense why they would probably wait until at least around that time to maximize the amount of people who are looking forward to it. Um, but yeah, it's just not gonna get any better. And that goes to show that, like, for the people that are saying, "Oh, we don't need a PS6 now, we don't need Project Helix now," it really does not matter when
Yeah.
it launches because it's only gonna get more expensive as time goes on. So, like, people are saying, like, to delay next gen and just wait until, like, 2028 or 2029, and it's like, it does not matter. It's just gonna get more expensive. If it costs because I think, Insider Gaming said that it costs, PlayStation or Sony, um around $1,000 to manufacture the PS6 right now. At least
It
that's
was
what they're
$960 in materials to manufacture the PS6.
yes. So that means that it's gonna cost over $1,000 to ship or to sell if
It's
they
gonna
wanna
be
make some
it's gonna be 1,200 guaranteed.
well, I don't know. I feel like maybe they might be willing to take less of a profit to be more consumer friendly because like it really just depends on the manufacturing costs and where they end up when it does launch. But that's what I'm saying, like,
This is we're talking about this is the cost for it today.
today.
It could go
Yes.
up, and that means the price would just go up.
And that's what I'm saying, like, that's why it really doesn't matter when next gen starts. It's just gonna keep going up. So do you wanna pay, uh 1,200 next year in 2027, or do you wanna pay 1,500 in 2028 or 2029? Like, it's not gonna matter. Just release it now, take the hit, and maybe things will get better eventually, maybe after 2028, but it's not gonna get better now. So there's no point in waiting because
Yeah.
it's gonna be that much more of a sticker shock to consumers to see a higher price tag than it would be right now. Because most people are under the understanding that these consoles are gonna be expensive. Like, they've already accepted that. It's just how expensive are they going to be, and how much are they willing to spend for next gen. And that's all to say too. You don't have to upgrade. You can wait. You can stay on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. They're still gonna be supported going forward, just like
Well,
PS4 and Xbox One was supported for years into this gen.
this
The
is
same
this
thing is
is
gonna happen.
this is the issue I'm having with that bit is that there's still 35 to 40 million players on PS4, and there's still like 10 to 20 million players on Xbox One. They haven't even upgraded yet, and now is the worst time because all these prices are just going up.
Right.
So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And we're
Yeah.
talking about the Steam machine. You mentioned the prices for the basic 512 gigabyte model is 1049. I found out even more was that the RAM is so bad. Some Steam machines have only one channel of 16 gigabytes or two channels of two 8 gigabyte sticks of RAM, which is terrible.
Wow.
You tell me you're spending $1,000 for a Steam machine and you only have one channel with 16 gigabytes in your system. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's really bad. I didn't know about that.
Yes. I was reading into this. I've been waiting to get to talk about the Steam machine because everybody's talking about like, oh, it's gonna be good. But they even started testing this. The Forza Horizon 6 has like
Oh
it's
yeah.
like 20 to 25 frames on the Steam machine. You can't even run Forza Horizon 6. Like, why would anybody buy the Steam machine at 1,049 for the very basic base model without a controller, and then have worse performance than a Series X or a PS5 or PS5 Pro? It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, and that's why I'm saying like just get it over with, bite the bullet, release it now, and or release next gen, not now, but like 2027 should be the target. And if you can't afford it, then just don't upgrade. Like that it there's no point in waiting because not only is it going to get more expensive, it's also getting older in age. Like
Yeah.
these next gen consoles are already old in terms of like the tech that's in them. They're based off of like 2023 tech. So if they wait longer, it's just the tech is going to age as well. And then would you rather pay over $1,000 or like 1,100 for tech that's based off of 2023, or would you rather pay 1,500 that's tech and based on 2023? Like it doesn't matter. And I think people are being too like they're pocket watching. And I get it.
Yeah.
Things are expensive, but also gaming is optional. Like there's plenty of other ways to like engage with gaming, and not to say like not to diminish anybody's like hobbies and stuff like
How
that, but
dare you? Not
but like if it's too expensive, like nobody's forcing you to keep paying. Like that's just how it is. I wouldn't do it. So then why would you expect to do it? Because it's the new thing and it's ultimately it's FOMO. Because they don't like the idea that something new is out that they can't afford or that they don't want to pay for. And I don't want to pay for it either. But will I? I don't know. It depends on what it is. But I regardless, the whole thing is based off of just this 5-year deal and the AI over reliance that's causing the stuff to skyrocket. And we're not over it. Like it's gonna keep going up. And I basically everybody's saying that we're not gonna feel any relief until like late 2028 at the earliest.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the PS6 manufacturing costs. You mentioned Xbox is raising prices in, I think it's September. Um, or actually, it's actually August. The prices for Xbox are going up in August. So it's like, if you don't bite the bullet now to upgrade, then
Yeah.
don't, like, it just doesn't make sense to upgrade after the price hikes. Get the stuff now if you want. You want to buy the Xbox, go right now. It's $499 still until August 1st. Get the PS5. It's still I think like it's like 550, 650 for the digital version. Get the digital version of the PS5 now before they raise the prices, because it's gonna happen. And please don't buy the Steam machine.
Yes.
It's not worth it.
Don't do
I
it.
mean,
Don't do it.
at that honestly, at that price, get yourself a whole PC. And that's technology, and that's of today, not of old tech, you know?
Yeah.
Just get yourself a PC if that's the case. That's what I'm, you know, that's my best advice. You want a Steam machine, but it's too costly and it's too old tech, too much old tech in it, not enough power supply, not enough RAM in there. Just go with a PC.
Yeah, that's your best bet. Like either get a pre-built. They have some that are on sale actually now. I saw one at Walmart that had a 5090 for like $900. And so like
Damn.
yeah,
That means the other parts are super cheap.
probably yes. But at least you can change that out if you want to change it out, you know? I'm pretty sure you could do that on the Steam machine too, but it's a
Yes, you
lot more
can.
work.
You can change out stuff on the Steam machine if you want, but again, if RAM is so crazy, you're not gonna want to change out the RAM or switch to RAM because RAM prices are expensive.
Right. But
It's all messed up.
yeah, it's just getting worse, and it's we have not seen the light at the end of the tunnel yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't. A tough time for us gamers.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, that's really all we have. We went over everything this week. Price increases.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're gonna
so
be talking about this for a long time,
for
but
sure.
hopefully there's some better news that happens in the meantime.
Yeah,
But
I hope so.
uh, just a reminder, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. If you look in the description, you can see our sponsors, W Energy and NordVPN. You can save some money off of subscriptions and products. And if you help them, they'll help us, and we thank them. We thank you. Oh, and if you're listening to us on a podcasting app, you can rate us and share us with all your friends and family. And yeah, that will help us out greatly. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.